Is a Tigray military commander in danger? Is he going to be arrested? Could his arrest spark controversy and conflict in Tigray? Who's this man? How important is this Tigray military commander? Secondly, Egypt making last ditch efforts to form a regional alliance, put pressure on Ethiopia. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni landed in Cairo, Egypt today on a 3-day official visit. Is the visit linked to the inauguration of GERD, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance? Let's start from Tigray, viewers. In January this year, we saw that Tigray military commanders held a meeting, and then they made an unprecedented move. At a public meeting, they announced support for the TPL. They called for continuation of TPLF as a political party. They stood on the side of TPLF in the ongoing dispute between TPLF and federal government. Federal government is not restoring TPLF as a political party. National Election Board of Ethiopia, NEBE, says that TPLF cannot be restored. Yes, it can be registered as a new political party. TPLF has refused to accept new registration. NEBE gave a time period to TPLF to accept the new registration and hold a general assembly and meet the requirements mentioned by NEBE when it registered TPLF as a new party. Sorry. TPLF refused to abide by the instructions, and NEBE then revoked TPLF's license as a political party. In January this year, Tigray military commanders, top tier, they stood with TPLF, but not all of them. Some Tigray military commanders disagreed with that decision, and that unprecedented decision by Tigray military command actually split Tigray military. Several senior Tigray military commanders, they disagreed. Commanders like Vedian Tiro, like Tiklai Esheber, like Kosh Gabre, and several others. They refused to accept the decision. Or you can say they disagreed with the decision. These military commanders were suspended. Goish Gabre is one of them. He was suspended over 6 months. He was leading Army 15. Goish Gabre and several other military commanders have been under suspension since January. Those who supported TPLF like Johannes, Migbe, Mashubijin, etc., they are leading their corps, leading their armies, and they are in the field. But where is Tikla Asheber? We don't know. Where is Goish Gabre? We don't know. Where is Vedian Tiro? He is in Afar. He has joined TPF. Where is Zaidu Cross? We don't know. Rumors that she has joined TPF as well. Now, Goish Gabre is under threat, according to Army 15 members. It is being planned by Tigray military to put Goish Gabre in detention. He is going to be arrested. This is what is being reported by members of Army 15, loyal to Goish Gabre. And these Army 15 members, they say that they stand with Goish Gabre. They won't allow the military officers to be arrested by other military officers. I think Tigray military should be very careful. Already military has split. Wadi and Tiro in a far, Tigray Ashebar could join too. Zaidu Cross could join as well. Wadi Rana there too in a far. If Goish Gabre is also forced to flee to Afar, that will be a big blow to Tigray military. TPLF split, and you saw what happened after that. If Tigray military splits too, which is happening, you will see more instability in Tigray. These top names in Tigray, military names, they have following, they have influence, they led corps. So when they defect Tigray military, they're not alone. Hundreds accompany them. Hundreds follow them. Let's hope the Tigray military shows restraint and Voish Gabre is not arrested in a manner which could be provocative and could lead to eruption of conflict in Tigray. If there are any charges against Voish Gabre, charges should be made public. I'm not aware of any charges against Voish Gabre. Secondly, was Egypt making last-ditch efforts to undermine the inauguration of GERD, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Egypt has been opposing the dam since day one. It opposed the filling of the dam to dam completed, power generation underway, and Ethiopia is set to inaugurate it next month. Im Abiy made the announcement at a parliament gathering, delivering a speech at the parliament that the GERD will be inaugurated in September. That announcement gave sleepless nights to Egypt. Since then, Egyptian leaders, prime minister, president, foreign minister have been busy touring the world, trying to mobilize international community, African community against Ethiopia. Egypt using all the tactics which it has up its sleeves, backing armed groups in Ethiopia, forming alliances with rivals of Ethiopia like Eritrea, Somalia, contacting Westerners, contacting the US, hoping Trump will play a decisive role. Trump says that he has averted a war between Ethiopia and Egypt without mentioning details. He is making this claim. Is he talking about his last tenure or this tenure? In this tenure, Egypt and Ethiopia were never close to waging a war, but that's what Trump claims, that he averted a war between Egypt and Ethiopia. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdullah visited Uganda a few days ago. I had a video on that. And there, the issue of deployment of Egyptian troops to Somalia came under discussions, and the issue of GERD was also raised by Egyptian Foreign Minister. Egypt requested Yoweri Museveni, Ugandan president, to mediate between Egypt and Ethiopia. Al-Sisi invited Yoweri Museveni to visit Cairo. And today, Yoweri Museveni, Ugandan president, landed in Cairo. He has arrived in Cairo on 3-day official visit. Agenda, obviously, is GERD. Deployment of Egyptian troops to Somalia could also be on the agenda. Egypt has been hesitant to deploy its troops to Somalia. It agreed to deploy around 1,000 troops to Somalia last year, but when peacekeeping mission resumed this year, Egypt did not deploy its troops to Somalia, where foreign forces are suffering losses. Ugandan soldiers died in an attack by Al-Shabaab a few days ago. Egypt not ready to deploy its forces to Somalia, but it wants to put pressure on Ethiopia by being a player in Somalia. Yoweri Museveni's statements in the past were never very critical of GERD, especially when Badr Abdullah visited Uganda a few days ago. Yoweri did not criticize Ethiopia. He said that the biggest threat to River Nile is environmental degradation. Did not say that GERD is a threat to River Nile. Let's see. Juweri has landed in Cairo. His position statement on GERD could be of significance. Will Juweri support Egypt? Will he mediate? Will he just neglect this issue, which perhaps is not likely because he's there in Cairo at the invitation of Sisi. Sisi wants Uganda to support Egypt on the issue of GERD. Have to wait to see. I think tomorrow we could see developments in Cairo about Yoweri Museveni's engagements with Al-Sisi. Thank you for watching.